I hesitate to call this good news, but I'm seeing minimal Hydra resistance between you and the Sanctum.
Looks can be deceiving, I'm afraid. There's no way these foot soldiers are behind the disruption of the wards of protection.
Hell.
Let's give it a go.
I saw a move like that once, centuries ago.
Don't blame me. We serve until the end. Follow my lead. That's gonna be fun.
That will not slow me down.
They haven't given up yet.
That gamma spike we detected in your area seems to be growing. Let's assume that's not a good thing.
Gamma or not, I feel the hand of my mother at work here.
Time's up for these jumps.
impressive.
Getting ugly down here. Taking the shot.
I won't forget that. Am I meant to be intimidated? Wanda is calling out to me. I feel her struggle. Need to concentrate and... And I won't be doing that again. Let me show you the way. This should aid me in my fight. That was really something.
That's not good.
They cannot possibly match your strength.
I've been waiting for this.
Misguided as they are, remember, Hydra is still human, Hunter. Not Lilin.
You were saying?
The lifeblood of the Mother pumps through our veins. The Mother is eternal. Hydra is eternal. Wanna bet?
Wards! Weakening! Cannot let them fail! Oh, God.
Exactly.
The Neighborhood Association is not going to like this.
No.
I'll handle it.
Not?
Do not fear your magic, little wizard. We have answered the Mother's call. We are venom to all who oppose her. And you are large.
Well, that certainly escalated quickly. Do I even want to know what that beast is?
It calls itself Venom. Until now, a pale imitation of a very heroic young friend of mine.
We will feed your ugly tongue to the spider wizard. Marinate it in his stomach juices and eat it with his spleen.
Walk in the light.
You've done me a great favor.
No time to lick our wounds.
Will carry you onward. Let us see if they have an answer for this.
Keep an eye on that one. Monoforms are for the weak!
It seems I'm indisposed at the moment.
This house belongs to Mother, as you belong to us. We shall start with your juicy entrails, then slowly savor your delicious brains.
Are the rest of your mother's children so chatty?
Thankfully, no. It is all coming back to me. You are lucky to still be breathing.
You asked for it.
Feeling strong today.
A moment of transcendence.
I think you got him. Maybe you should teach me that one.
from hell.
Will of the old gods.
You're too strong for you. You will die.
I will banish you to the void.
I've never been punched by a fluid before.
We may not be ready for this thing yet. Might be smarter to pull back until we know what we're up against here.
Yes. Surrender. Be eaten. Fill our belly with your tasty fear.
I shall fill your belly with my blade, demon.
Just what this battle requires.
No help.
Straight blade. I know it isn't easy for you.
Playtime's over. Reminds me of the floor of the bathroom at Yankee Stadium.
Follow my
Soon we eat.
better not stain my clothes. We'll have to deal with a few more, I'm afraid.
Mother blesses us with power. Mother blesses us with strength. We protect the mother and are rewarded with your meat.
And to think Lilith was a vegetarian.
Watch closely. The light shines on the most dutiful. I hope this is one of the stronger arms. We did come all the way here for a fight.
Lilith will not look kindly on this one. No escape from me, demon.
Hold up. We don't know what we're dealing with yet.
Such easy What?
Hey, big guy! I was in the neighborhood. You know, being friendly. Seemed like you folks could use a hand, Doc.
Spider-Man!
Jeez, Eddie, what happened to you? That's sort of a horrifyingly terrible new look. The tongue was gross enough, but whoa! Someone is extra touchy today.
We will rip your face off and suck the marrow from your bones!
Always nice to see you too, buddy. So, I'm thinking your friends here could use a little break. How about I take Eddie here for his afternoon walk? Don't worry, Doc. That's just his way of saying he cares!
Congratulations.
New world or not, some things remain unchanged.
The look.
What look?
Boldly charging headfirst into the jaws of your enemy. Courageously risking the lives of yourself and your teammates. Just to play the hero. This is the Fire Dragon all over again.
Fire Dragoon. My memories may be fragmented, but as I recall, I killed the bastard.
And all it cost was a village.
Of course. I see it now. The look.
Cut him some slack. It wasn't that simple.
It never is. Which is why I sent you to help. If Spider-Man hadn't come along today, we could have lost far more than...
Then the Sanctum?
Or Wanda.
She means I could have died. Again, putting an end to her eternal crusade against my mother.
You've been through a lot. For now, it's enough that you all made it back in one piece. More or less. We'll talk more later. Get some rest. Not to be the nagging old lady, but I told you not to push too hard. Now that things have settled down, you should get some rest. It won't always be this quiet. Now that things have settled down, you should get some rest.
Not the outcome I envisioned for our first mission together, but
Hey, for what it's worth, I think you did okay out there. You got some decent hang time, even given you were wearing, what, 70, 80 pounds of chainmail? On the Stark scale of reckless yet daring heroics, I give it a solid 6 out of 10. Don't worry, you'll get there. With a little help.
And where exactly am I going?
Oh, that's the real question, isn't it? Sky's the limit for you, my friend. Unless you'd be up for wearing a space helmet. You do breathe air, don't you? You know what? It doesn't matter. I couldn't help but overhear Auntie Caretaker over there telling you to get some rest. That sounds like a good idea to me. I suppose I could keep you company on the way, seeing as our rooms are in the same direction and all. Besides, no one should be forced to walk the hallways around here alone. So, here we are. The old room, huh? It's not bad. Functional. Solid construction. Almost cozy. Love the antique furnishings from the early Mephisto collection. Full transparency, Hunter, there's another reason I asked to join you here, other than my abject terror of this entire facility. Stopped here before, while you were out. Wanted to surprise you with a nice little housewarming present. Was all set to write you a lovely welcome note, but I'm fairly certain that wasn't red ink in your quill.
But I do not have a quill.
Even better.
Relax, Tony. I simply jest. It is an ink derived of the spider lily flower. Red spider lily flowers.
Of course it was. Obviously.
With just a touch of amphibian blood. For power.
Haha! Another zinger. And we'll just leave it at that. Well, I suppose I should leave before whatever monstrosity that is most definitely hiding under your bed jumps out, rips my face off, and then proceeds to feast on my soul. I'll leave you to it.
May your sleep be filled with pleasant dreams, Tony.
Right back at you. Oh, and if you hear the shrieking of a grown man, please ignore it. It's just me, walking to my room. Hi, I'm Tony Stark. But if you're hearing this message, you already know that. When I'm not saving the world, I solve the world's problems with technological means, like the one you're holding. I call it the Spark, a secure information and communication device built only for superheroes. It does all the usual, private messages, pictures, and calls for some reason. But it also comes with access to Superlink, a private social network exclusively for your cape-wearing, world-saving compatriots. You might ask, Tony, aren't you just repurposing a failed product from your communications division? If you do, I'll revoke access and let everyone else know you're a jerk. I call it the Wonder Man rule.
There never was enough room for my armor in this thing. my old journal. Maybe it is time I start writing in it again. We were all so happy then.
They're everywhere! We must fall back! To where?
The book! Is she reading from the book? Then we advance.
No! Hold the line! I can stop her! Only I can stop her!
Charlie!
I know. I missed you too.
Let her. Maybe I'm in no rush to see you do it again.
We do not choose our destiny.
But we can choose to duck.
First lesson you ever taught me.
And still the most important. Especially now that you have all these eyes on you.
I have noticed.
To these people, you are a being of myth and legend. A grand hero of old. And they're right. You are a hero. But I also know the battle that rages within your soul. It's not enough that you are a hero. You need to decide what type of hero you will be. I'm sure there will be plenty of opportunity for that in the days to come. For now, I would head to the Forge. Our new guests are eager to show you something. This was a lot easier when it was just you and I beheading the Dark Legion as we traipsed through the woods.
Don't forget about Agatha.
I never could. Charlie was restless all night. I should have known something was wrong. We'll talk more later, but for now, Stark has requested your presence in the Forge. I think he has another present for you.
Hello, my sweet girl.
You'll be back to your old self in no time, kiddo.
Next thing I know, the Saint is airborne, covered in slime.
I don't get it.
There are cracks in this wall.
Check out Blade making nice with the big guns.
Heard about what happened in New York, Hunter. I'm sure whatever Tony's cooking up down there will only help.
Heard you had a nightmare. In the words of Akami Ito, don't be afraid. Bad dreams are only dreams.
I thought Caretaker told him no more guns in there.
Captain Marvel is an exception. Let's talk later, Hunter. Tony will start pouting if you keep him waiting too long.
Now?
Think you can tell your friend inside there to turn it up a few hundred Kelvin?
I could. However, it might shatter the containment spell preventing him from incinerating this facility.
I think we're good. And just in time.
The Forge has certainly changed.
Right. Caretaker said this all happened after your siesta. What spooky castle would be complete without its own Babylonian demon-powered furnace?
Sumerian fire demon. His name is Babs.
Oh, now it all makes sense. Well, once you get past the esoteric terror of the situation, I've found this thing actually has some uses. Molecular bonding, breaking down evil gamma serums, fashion accessorizing.
Yes, speaking of...
Oh, right. It's ready.
Your armor seemed to offer minimal protection against the venom creature.
I noticed.
Yeah, I thought you could use an upgrade.
Well hammered, well fired. Caretaker did not mention that you two were such skilled smithies.
Yep, I am Iron Smithy.
Perhaps you should just try it on.
used a cloak.
Stylish, damn near indestructible, and we even got the size right. Not bad for our first collaboration.
I still think it could have benefited from a cloak.
I think everything could benefit from a cloak.
Ah, I see. What is this?
I do not. Oh, I've heard the things you whisper to your cape when you think no one's listening.
Ah, the joys of sharing a workspace. And I'll have you know this cloak has helped me save the universe from extinction. Hunter, your new attire suits you quite well. But how are you holding up on the inside? I know it's easy to look upon me and simply see the universe's utmost authority on all things mystical and macabre, Hunter. However, in addition to being Earth's sorcerer supreme, I am also your doctor.
You mean a physician of the medical arts? You jest.
I assure you, Hunter, I do not jest. They don't call me Mr. Strange, now do they? Except for Tony. Your awakening ritual was admittedly a touch more chaotic than I had originally intended, and, well, after your violent encounter with Venom, my oath to Hippocrates compels me to check in with you. Simply put, how do you feel?
You lost much yesterday, Doctor. I am the one who should be asking you how you are feeling.
I appreciate that, Hunter. I admit I did not expect the child of Lilith to have the capacity for such empathy. And you're right, of course. I, for one, do not know if I will ever feel 100% again after the events of yesterday. I still can't believe what transpired. The sanctum, all that knowledge, Wanda, lost. Swallowed whole by the black mouth of that foul Venom creature. With all my resources, all my gifts, I should have seen this outcome spelled out in the sacred geometry of this universe years ago. But I miscalculated.
I would rather stand down a horde of rampaging Lilin than face one of Agatha's mathematics puzzles. Sacred or not, geometry be damned.
I'd be lying if I said it wasn't my least favorite requirement in pre-med. Still, if only I had studied harder, I would have reached some deeper understanding that could have altered this outcome.
We will alter this outcome, Doctor.
On that, we most certainly agree, Hunter. It's not just the Sanctum Sanctorum that was lost yesterday, it was my protege, Wanda. She is my charge, my responsibility, and I failed her. But I am determined not to let that happen with you, Hunter, which is why I am here to answer any questions you may have. Perhaps my wisdom may benefit you more than it has me thus far.
How did Wanda come into your care?
Wanda's story is quite tragic and perhaps not mine to tell. There was an accident on the Abbey grounds not long ago involving Agatha.
I feel like everyone is avoiding mention of Agatha.
I can't say I'm surprised, but I'm afraid it's really not my place. You should speak to Sarah about her when you're ready.
That creature on the roof, you have run into it before?
Unfortunately, yes. In the simplest of terms, Venom is an alien species living in symbiosis with a human known as Eddie Brock. He's something of a fixture in New York these days, but Typically, his hijinks are confined to harassing Spider-Man.
How does Eddie feel about this arrangement?
He seems to relish the experience. And under Lilith's spell, they've clearly become more cohesive than ever before.
Tell me about your Sanctum's wards of protection. I have never heard of a protection spell that powerful.
In your time, I'm sure you encountered a variety of minor wards and protective spells. The Sanctum Sanctorum was shielded by one such incantation, but greatly amplified by the convergence of ley lines.
Ley lines?
Often dismissed as pseudoscience in the modern day, ley lines actually represent the convergence of magical energies formed within the Earth itself. Ancient civilizations built their temples along these lines, tapping into the power flowing through them. 2 such lines converge at the Sanctum's location. Needless to say, the wards benefit greatly.
Let us talk later.
Visit whenever you like. It's not often I get to converse with a true legend.
I hate to admit it, but somehow this ancient forge puts any arc reactor I've got to shame. Who would have thought mystically bound demon power would be so damn energy efficient? Or carbon neutral? Certainly got that new suit of yours done a lot faster than I expected. Speaking of, what's the verdict, boss?
I will reserve judgment until I try it in combat.
There's a 99.9% chance you'll be fine. Or it'll bust at the seams and fall off mid-battle. Word of advice, don't go commando. Either way, you're now the most advanced hybrid of tech and magic on Earth since old Doc Doom himself. But tools are just one part of the equation. You gotta know how to use them too. You were out, what, 300 years before we woke you from your eternal rest? I'm betting you have questions, so ask away, Hunter.
You must have an interesting origin story of your own.
Well, just your typical American boy. Pops was a founding member of the military-industrial complex. Mom, a famous socialite. Tragedy struck when I lost them both in a car crash, which turned out to be a hit from a rival corporation. I spent my early teens at MIT, trying to clear my head, and was all set to follow in Dad's footsteps as a war profiteer. Then one day, fortune shined on me, in the form of some errant shrapnel that lodged itself just above my heart. So I did what anybody in that situation would do. I built a supersuit and started fighting crime.
I guess we have all had difficult childhoods here.
Yeah, no kidding. I can't tell you how hard it was to memorize all that at Skrull Sleeper Camp. Just kidding. Or am I?
What sorts of things are you doing in here?
Oh, that's right. You were out a while. Basically, we've got a gigantic demon inside the magic box here that provides near limitless power for whatever we might need. Sounds insane, but sometimes it's easier to just go with it.
Okay, so why not magically create a way through that symbiote shield?
Have you ever known it to work that way? We can't just wish upon a star here. We need to know what we're making first and put together the right components. Otherwise, I'd have already whipped up Strange a new personality.
Thanks for catching me up on things.
Anytime. Oh, and speaking of things, remember that creepy gamma goop you found from that hopped-up Hydra soldier? Well, I gave it a peek, and it explains a lot. If you have a minute, meet me at the anvil over there, and I'll walk you through it. I promise it'll be worth your time. Now, I doubt advanced gamma thermodynamics was a hot topic at ye old demon hunting school, so I'm just gonna give you the condensed version.
I appreciate that.
Closest I've ever seen to this substance is pumping through Bruce's veins. Part gamma accelerant, part unknown element. Calling it coil for now, given its unique atomic structure. Man, I love acronyms. This stuff is more volatile than Nick Fury on a Monday morning, but Hydra doesn't seem to mind.
They are using it to get stronger.
Exactly. A few drops would make your average salamander look like Fin Fang Foom. Thankfully, with a little help from Dr. Spooky and our haunted oven over here, I think two can play at this game.
You are not suggesting we start injecting ourselves with it.
No, nothing like that. Though I can see some future applications for my energy drink line. I was thinking we apply this stuff towards upgrading our equipment.
I like where this is going.
Just give me a little time here and I can whip up some pretty fun toys. How about we give Hydra a taste of their own gamma-powered medicine for a change? Welcome to Tony's Scary Demon Cave. I'm Tony, and how may I assist you today? This should be quick. What do you think?
Hunter, when you have a minute, come meet me in the yard. Welcome to the yard. At least that's what we're calling it these days. Caretaker put me in charge of your training. Too bad she didn't listen to me yesterday. Now that we know what we're up against, I think we can all use the practice. Any questions?
I did, but they are about you.
Right when it's time to train? From all Sarah told us about you, she never described you as lazy.
I learn faster if I understand the person who trains me.
I can respect that. Go ahead.
Can I ask about you?
I guess.
How long have you been around?
I don't exactly know. I think of myself as mid-20s, maybe. I lost a lot of time. Much of the last century was a blur. I have occasional memories, almost like coming up for air before being yanked back down into the depths.
What happened?
I killed a lot of vampires. I hadn't lost my mind exactly, but I got into a rhythm and never stopped. Never had a reason to stop. Not until I met Caretaker.
And then?
She gave me a reason to stop.
Is your name really Blade?
Is your name really the Hunter?
Yes?
Oh, really? Your mom, before she became the mother of demons, looked into your cradle and decided to name her firstborn child the Hunter.
That is how I understand it.
It takes all kinds.
So, is your name really Blade?
No.
What is it?
It's private.
Is it embarrassing?
No, the Hunter, but I only share it with friends.
You do not consider me a friend?
Not yet. Don't take it personally.
How did you become a Dhampir?
You say that like I had a choice. I was born this way.
How is that possible?
A vampire bit my mother. Problem was, I was still in the womb. I'm lucky I was even born. Don't know if that's how it always is, but that's the way it went down for me.
What brought you to the Abbey?
Caretaker. About 10 years ago, she brought me back to the real world. Gave me a place to stay until I came back to myself.
Did she ever say why?
She said she thought I'd be able to kill more vampires if I was acting on more than just instinct. But I know it was more than that. She gave me safe haven here at the Abbey, something I'd never known. Must have read half the books in the library by the time I headed out. So when she reached out and asked me to be part of this weird little club, of course I showed up.
Thanks, Blade.
Mm-hmm, sure. Nice to get some fresh air. No pain, no gain. Peace. Hunter.
Like the way you move out there, Hunter. Guess Dr. Strange picked the right supernatural demon hunter to resurrect. I'm Carol Danvers, but you can call me Captain Marvel. Kidding, Carol's fine. Just thought I'd throw a bone to the Avengers PR team. Not gonna lie, going a few rounds in Vampire Guy's Magic Thunderdome sounds like fun, but we've got bigger fish to fry. Well, not so much fish as that ginormous invulnerable sewer monster that swallowed the Sanctum.
In my day, we did not treat the end of the world so flippantly.
Yeah? Give yourself 3 or 4 more apocalypses, see where you land. Trust me, Hunter, I know the stakes. Wouldn't be here if I didn't. Strange, Caretaker, and the rest of the funky bunch can try and magic their way through that shield all they want. If my time as a pilot taught me one thing, it's that sometimes you've gotta find a workaround. As in Hydra. They've gotta know the way inside. Steve's always said they aren't much for talking. But then again, I'm told I can be rather persuasive when I need to be.
Well, if there is any time to put your powers of persuasion to work, now is the time, Captain.
Trust me, Hunter, I'm looking forward to it. Hydra's been a thorn in me and Steve's asses for years. Can't wait to remove them for good. Find me in the war room when you're finished here. There's a few things we should discuss. Oh, and Hunter? Welcome back from the dead.
Nothing is certain these days, but these readings are too distinct to ignore. The Gamma signature is...
Sorry, Bruce, did you say Gamma?
Yes,
Hang on a second. Come on, Tony. You managed to stream the Super Bowl to a Kree battleship 50 light-years out. This should be easy.
Oh, we waited all year for that game, and you know the Skrulls would have spoiled it for us if they got the chance.
Well, can't you just... I don't know.
Work my magic again? See, that's the problem. This time I am working with actual magic, and let me tell you, it sucks.